1. You know what makes a woman really care about you. It's not when you give her every compliment, every attention, or everything she wants. It's when she feels like, I have his attention, but I don't necessarily have him. That's when the game starts. Don't be so quick to pour your heart out. Don't be so quick to reveal all your cards. She needs to feel that there's something about you that she can't quite reach. That you're a selective man. You have taste, you have standards, and she's right on the line between almost there, and not quite there yet. That's the moment she starts to invest back. Not because you're begging her. Not because you're making her feel completely safe. But because you're making her prove her worth. It may sound cold, but that's how the power game works. If you want to be the chosen one, you have to learn to be the one who chooses first. Be the man who sits in the judging chair. Not the man who's rushing to claim a place in someone's heart. When she feels like you can choose, but haven't chosen. When she feels like she has potential, but isn't yet. That's when you have the biggest advantage. 2. Have you ever walked into a room? And without saying a word. Without even trying. You commanded presence. No loud voice. No overreaction. No desperate need to be seen. Just silence. But not just any silence. Controlled silence. That's not weakness. That's calculated dominance. You see. Most men are prisoners of their own reactions. Someone insults them. They snap. Someone doubts them. They scramble to defend. Someone raises their voice. They match it with louder noise. They think reacting fast is power. They think noise means control. But the man who truly controls the room is the one who doesn't flinch. While others react, you observe. While they lose themselves in chaos, you remain still. Because silence, when used with intent, is not emptiness. It's a weapon. Here's the truth no one tells you. People are terrified of silence. Especially when it comes from a man who doesn't need to prove himself. Your stillness makes them uncomfortable. They start questioning their own words. They try to fill the space you leave empty. They reveal more than they should. Why? Because silence creates tension. And tension puts you in control. It forces them to come to you. To explain. To react. To seek your validation, even when you haven't offered any. That's how you control space. Not by dominating with presence. But by mastering absence. Don't rush to fill the air. Let your silence speak. Let others wonder what you're thinking, what you'll say next. Or whether you'll say anything at all. Because the moment you don't react, they have to. And that is real power. So next time the room gets loud. Next time emotions rise. Next time someone tries to provoke you. Hold your ground. Say less. Look more. React never. Let your stillness make them squirm. Let your silence whisper what words never could. I'm not here to be pulled into your chaos. I am the center of it. They say the loudest voice in the room holds the most power. They're wrong. In fact, it's the man who speaks last who controls the outcome. The one who waits. Who listens. Who watches. The one who plays the long game. Because power isn't always about being heard. It's about being remembered. And when you speak last, your words echo the longest. In every conversation, there's a subtle war for control. A battle of timing, posture, and perception. Most men rush in with opinions. They talk fast, they talk loud. They try to dominate with volume, with passion, with urgency. But urgency is weakness. It says, I need to prove something. You're not here to prove. You're here to position. To maneuver. To watch others exhaust themselves, while you sit in silence. And when the moment is right, you drop your words like a blade. Not many. Just enough. Enough to tilt the room. Enough to flip the balance. That's the power of speaking last. It's the move of a strategist. Not a scrambler. It's not just speech. It's control. Look, this isn't just about talking. It's a mentality. When you train yourself to speak last, you train yourself to observe first. You pick up the patterns. You notice the power dynamics. You detect the insecurities hidden behind loud words. You start to see who needs attention. And who commands it naturally. Every word they say before you. It's intel. It's ammo. It's an opportunity to reshape their narrative with your silence. And that's where most men fail. They don't understand the art of holding back. They confuse confidence with urgency. But a lion doesn't roar for no reason. He roars when he wants to remind everyone who the king is. So should you. Every time you open your mouth too quickly, you reveal your position. You show your hand. You give away leverage. But when you wait, when you pause just a little longer, when you let them run out of breath, out of logic, out of power, that's when you strike. Imagine a boardroom. 5 men shouting, selling, begging to be right. Then there's one man, sitting still. Hands folded. Quiet. Eyes focused. He speaks once, near the end. And everyone listens. Because they've already said everything. Now it's his turn to say what matters. And because he waited, every word carries weight. That's presence. That's control. That's legacy. Most people fear silence. They need noise to feel alive. They crave validation. They think words equal dominance. But you know better now. You don't chase attention. You create it. You bend the room with your restraint. Because when you speak last, you're not just delivering words. You're delivering judgment. You're deciding whose opinion lives or dies in that room. And that's the ultimate masculine edge. You're not trying to win the argument. You're deciding which argument even deserves to exist. You filter the noise. You cut through emotion. You speak with precision. Think of yourself as a blade. A sword doesn't thrash around. It waits in the sheath. Silent. Polished. Deadly. Until it's drawn, and only when necessary. Your words should be the same. Minimal. Sharp. Final. When you speak, let it feel like the room just shifted. Let people pause before responding. Let them realize, you weren't silent because you had nothing to say. You were silent because you were studying them. So from this day forward, speak last. Let them talk. Let them spill their emotions. Let them guess where you stand. While you sit with presence. Unmoved. Calculating. Strategic. Because you're not here to impress. You're here to influence. You're not here to participate in the noise. You're here to shape the silence. Remember this. The man who speaks last doesn't need to speak loud. He doesn't need to speak often. He only speaks when it's time to decide. And when you become that man, you don't just command the room. You own it. Silence is your weapon. Timing is your armor. Strategy is your voice. Be silent. Be sharp. Speak last. And win without saying a word too soon.